Hello and welcome back to another episode. I hope you enjoyed that little time lapse at the beginning there, which I actually am really happy with. I think the fact that the beehives actually have bees in them and they do pop out and pollinate these flowers and then fly back in, it just adds a little bit of life to it, and I think that's really cool. But it is I'd say it's quite a thick tree, but I don't know, I kind of like it. I think it kind of works. Anyway, in this episode, I am going to be animating the base. And by animating, I mean, well, you'll see. So anyway, in order to actually animate the base, I feel like I've got to put some stuff in place first. Because this area is looking a little barren. And if I just jump into free cam, actually, that might help me fly around the area and explain it a little more. So over here, we've done a lot of work, right? We've gone ahead and we've made all these stalls here. We've got like this little farm area, and I'm sure that'll continue that way. But we need to actually focus on this side. Now our entrance to the fairgrounds, it's looking a little bland. It could probably do with like a sign here or something. And we also need to fix the path going into that area, because there'll be like a sort of seafront area there, but we won't get to that in this video. So in this video, we'll be focusing on this area here. I think for this area, we're gonna have a lot more attractions. So I think it would be best if we've actually convert this part of the build into more of a carnival kind of attraction-y, circus-y thing. Like a fairground kind of thing. Because, I mean, you know, it'd have fun to have some actual attractions here. And, well, I guess I'll just go ahead and immediately start working on what those could look like. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna, like, mark out the rough area in which all the builds are going to go. I don't know how I feel about this back wall here. I may tear it down and replace it with something else. I'm not sure yet. Although, if we're going to start marking things out, I should probably grab some blocks. So I think, purely based on how good I think it will look, this will probably be where the Helter Skelter is. Just because I think it kind of lines up nice, because it's quite tall as well. Because I think it kind of nicely lines up with that cliff. And also we're gonna have a little minecart track that just wraps around it. Nothing major, just a little bit of a ride that you can go on. That being said, we do actually need to extend the path going this way to connect to it, and I think this is where the fortune teller tent is gonna go. I think for this one, I'm also gonna need to probably do a little bit of terraforming, because it doesn't really make sense that this is on a hill, given that this is just gonna be a tent. And there's gonna be a little mini game in here, which I will explain later. And yes, I have come to the conclusion that I do need to remove a chunk of this because it does overlap with that, and that is going to annoy me. You know what? That's a future me problem. I'm just going to mark it for now and focus on something else. And there we go. So we've got these little areas marked out here, and that does leave some gaps. Like here, there's a big gap there. Big gap there and over there. I think the path will probably extend that way, but go outside of the circus and kind of go into more of like a little, I don't know, fishing village, I guess. I feel like it'd be good to have some boats on this lake at some stage, and kind of makes sense for them to have a place to come from. I mean, I know I've got the dock here and I've got that over there, but I feel like maybe some, I don't know, something to do with the lake there will probably be a nice little addition. Something I have just realized, though, is that I'm going to need a lot of concrete, and I don't know how much sand and gravel I have. I mean, I'm fairly certain I've got a lot of sand, because I went ahead and collected a ton when I was doing this build, because I needed a bunch of concrete for that. But I don't know how much gravel I have. So I guess the next step is to just build up this tower and then connect the path, because I think the rest of these attractions are kind of already on the path. Or maybe I build all the attractions and then connect the paths up later, because then I can also do like little lampposts and whatnot. You know what? That's what I'll do. I'll build the attractions first. And here we have it. Build 1 complete. This is the Helter Skelter. It's basically just a Helter Skelter. There's nothing really too special about it. You walk in here and then it's just an elevator. And then there's no way down. The only way down is to actually get in the minecart and actually, it takes a while to get going. but as soon as you hit the first downhill, you can take your hands off the keyboard, and it just sort of goes by itself. There's enough momentum to carry you down to the bottom. Then it kicks you out, and the minecart gets sent all the way back up to the top for the next person to come down. Really simple, but we can do something a little fancier, I think, next. And that something a little bit fancier will come in the form of this weird little smiley face markings that I've made over here. So first of all, I do actually need to flatten this ground a little bit so there's actually room for it. And I should probably light up this random cave that I've just uncovered under here. Actually, it's not that big. Probably wouldn't have mattered very much. I didn't even know there was a cave there, to be completely honest with you. But, I mean, there isn't one now, because we've just covered it up. Okay, now I've actually cleared out area for this, I need to clear out area under it. Because there's some redstone bits that I need to actually, make room for. Now, I'm not 100% sure how much room I need under this, but I'm thinking this is probably pretty good. And it's also reminding me the fact that I have not lit up a large portion of the underneath of this place. Oh well, that's a future me problem. I really hope this never breaks, because I have not made this particularly easy to get into to fix anything that could potentially go wrong. That being said, the tent walls are made of wool, so maybe it actually is pretty easy to get into it. I have actually decided that I am going to bring it forward a little bit. There we go. This is the amount of room I need, and I am sort of thinking maybe I should probably put some torches down here. Although the more monsters that spawn down here, the less they'll spawn up there. So maybe I want this. Then again, if for whatever reason I ever fall through here and there's a million mobs trying to kill me, that probably wouldn't be the safest thing ever. So maybe I should just light it up. Okay, I ran out of torches, so that's going to be all I'm placing at the moment. Well, this is thoroughly a future me problem. So this is going to be a pretty square tent. But that's purely because the actual interface for the game will be here, and all the redstone will just be hidden out back here and under there. So it kind of needs to be this square. Also, I got lazy. But also, there's a lot of redstone, okay? Now all the walls are done. Should I do the redstone or the roof next? Because if I do the roof next, then it might be a pain getting to all the redstone. But if I do the redstone next, then the wall can just go on afterwards. So I think, by that logic, I should do the redstone first. So I didn't do either of those things. I made the front of the building look a little bit prettier. So this will be the interface. You push this button to turn it on, and then eventually these corners will like side away, and there'll be target blocks behind it, and it'll randomize which ones showed when, and then your score will be output into this barrel because it's basically just dispensing blocks, and that's how you work out how many targets you've hit. Anyway, I should probably start working on the redstone now. I mean, I did leave the roof open, so I'd be able to work on this. I flew all the way over here to get something, and I've completely forgotten what I flew over here to get. See, the thing is, I'm gonna fly all the way back, and I'm gonna realize what it is I came here to get. It was emerald. I got all the way to the door. It was emerald blocks for the note blocks. So update, I only have 1 emerald to my name. Ooh, actually, I wonder if I've got any in my wallet. Nope, the answer is no. I'm gonna have to trade with these guys again. Oh, and if you're wondering what all these glowing boxes are, that is because I'm using Lightmatica to paste this in, because while I did build and design this in a creative world, I do not trust myself to perfectly replicate it here. It's good as well, because it lets me know what tick a repeater is supposed to be on, because there was no way I was going to remember that. I think that's actually all of the underground part done now, which means I've got to do the upper section. This is going to be a little bit more involved, I think. Okay, I need lectern droppers, sticky pistons. I need a book that goes up to 15, and I need... What else do I need? Oh, target blocks, yes. I managed to find everything I needed inside my storage system, barring the target blocks, but I was able to craft those, so that's fine. Okay, so I may have forgotten the fact that I needed a lectern, but I will go and get that now. There we go. There is the lectern, there is this, and I don't remember what page I had it to, so that is going to be troubling. I think it was on 5, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though. I can't really remember. Let's just continue building this up and hope for the best. And that is pretty much everything, exactly where it goes. I just need to put items in the droppers so we can actually keep score of something. So let's go find something we've got a lot of. You know what? I'm gonna get a shulker box. I think I'm gonna need 2 shulker boxes, actually. Yep, I'm gonna use light blue for this. And that is all of the droppers filled up now. All I need to do now is put the roof on it, and we are good to go. And it is done. Now, I know there is something that I probably should do. I should probably put bows and arrows in the chests. Or not chests, barrels. But let me give you a quick demo of how this works. And this is also the first time I'm testing it since I built it on the server. Also, it's not working, I've realized. Well, the on-off time works. I'm realizing... I'm realizing that perhaps I forgot to put anything in the timers, which is it's kind of embarrassing, I'll be honest. Okay, so I think I'm supposed to put one non-stackable and one stackable, one non-stackable, one stackable. Okay, test 2. Let's see if it'll work. It's not working. Why isn't it working? Oh, because I'm supposed to put something in there. That's why it's not working. I don't know what that timer was supposed to be, though. Was that what it was? Okay, let's try it now. It was just one. It was just one. This is the actual game. You're supposed to hit as many targets as possible. It's actually the small square in the middle is what you're actually supposed to hit. So if a thing pushes your arrow and it hits the edge of the block, it doesn't count as a point. And then whatever amount of wool you get in this barrel once it turns off is your score. And then you can just leave your take all the wool out of this barrel, put it there, put it in there. And then this should in theory have arrows and bows, but it doesn't because I forgot. Well, now that that's taken care of, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in another tiny little time lapse of me building up the fortune teller tent, because really there's nothing too complicated about it. It is just a tent with a randomizer in the bottom of it. And it is finished. Well, kind of. So I've done all the exterior stuff, and I've done the interior components to this. There's still a bunch of fancy armor stand stuff that I want to do. Like I want to have a little crystal ball on this table, and I want to have somebody sitting behind it, so like look like somebody's actually in the chair reading the fortunes. But basically, what you do is you go in here. If you put any random item in, it does that, and it shoots it back at you. But if you put a diamond in the barrel, it'll dispense a little card thing. But there's not actually any in the system right now. So if you insert a diamond, it triggers this, which does that little tune, which is roughly timed to the actual dispensing of a note. And when it gets dispensed, that gets triggered, which is just a little did it to say that it's worked. This is like a loading noise, because it does take a while from the signal to get there to here. So I wanted a loading noise, just to make sure that people were aware things were still happening. This is a pretty basic design that you'll probably see in 100 different places online, where it's essentially just it randomizes a number between 1 and 9. And then it just ticks this torch on when it's triggered. So all these droppers will have like pieces of paper renamed to the different fortune cards you can get. And then it basically just dispenses a random one of those into the water stream, and then when it goes in there, it triggers the little ding ding to prove that it's dispensing something, and then it shoots up to the top, and you receive it. I have just realized, though, that I haven't put any of the actual shulker boxes in here for the system to function, but I've also not put any of these in, so that's why it's out of order. It's not working. I think I actually worked out that I could have 81 different fortunes. Not sure if my math is mathing there, but it's just a thought. And so now we must draw our attention over here to where the Ferris wheel will go. Now, the Ferris wheel is probably the thing I took the most time designing, and that's purely because I wanted something that looked like a Ferris wheel and was still kind of animated like one. So I used, well, you'll see it while I'm building it, and I'll explain it as I go. But at least for this start little bit, I need to tear down that mountain. So looks like I'm tearing down a mountain. Yep, it really didn't take that long to tear down the mountain. What took really long time was placing all this redstone. So you can see that there is a bunch of observers that basically trigger a bunch of dispensers, which are placed in front of red wool, and you'll see it in a minute when the time-lapse ends. But basically, they dispense powdered snow, which creates the effect of it spinning. And also, Cal flew in here and exploded a creeper that I had to then repair. And then I just built the rest of it, and here we go. And look at it. Look at it spin. Look at the Ferris wheel spin. Oh, I love it so much. If you do get close to it, the particles of the powdered snow do appear, and it does kind of ruin it a little bit. But, I mean, I struggled for a good few days trying to figure out how to do this, because I looked online, and I couldn't really find any videos on Ferris wheels specifically. But there were a lot of videos on fans. A lot of videos on animated redstone stuff. Seems to be a big... Buildstone seems to be very popular these days, and I am here for it. I love it. It is great. And it also gives me so many great ideas for things that I could be putting dotted around the place. But, yeah, this is a Smev design. I zoomed into the one bit that wasn't animated, the center. I don't know how to make the rest of it look animated. I was thinking blinking lights, but then it starts to get too thick, because this is already very thick. It is already hugely thick. Like, way thicker than I wanted it to be. I mean, it still works, kind of, if you don't think about it too hard. I mean, the more you think about it, the more it looks like it's literally just like a display board spinning around, which, I mean, technically it is, but I think it works, but I just love it so much. That being said, this thing hates being unloaded. This is the clock I'm using, which is probably not the best clock to be using, but I found that this configuration here gives the best timing for this wheel spinning, and I'm kind of okay with that. But there is one final thing that I want to showcase in this episode, because I kind of did it between the Ferris wheel and everything else, and because my hope was to get this street finished and then like do glamour shots after the Ferris wheel, but that didn't work out so well. So basically all I've managed to do is repair the path going up to the different attractions, have some lights in various different places, and I've also added these little I don't know what they're called, but they look like drapey things. It's like bunting or something. And with lamps and stuff. Just to I don't know, liven the place up. But I mean, even starting from way back here, I've added various different pieces here and there, just to try and, like, I don't know, decorate as I go. So I've added another one of those on the entrance. I've got this. I've put a little sign here. Oh, also, we updated. So we've got these little wildflowers here. Anyway, outside of adding all the new bits and pieces, okay. I'm gonna pause. Look at these leaves. So if we look over here, you can see that this is how I had it, where I had just, like, soul sand going into that, and it worked because it was the best option we had. However, if I come over here, you can see I've added the leaves on just some of the edges of the soul soil, and it just makes it look so much better transitioned. Like, it actually, like, it makes it look so good. Like, I genuinely can't, like, put into words how much better this is now. It's just... I really like it. I really, really like it. I also started mixing in some of the shorter grass on the edge of the wheat fields, and I've also mixed in some of the dried grass in the inside of it. And you can't really tell because I lit up the crop field to stop things spawning, but there is fireflies. There's, like, little groups of fireflies that, like, jump out and float around, and there's a slime that is about to attack me. I can't have you guys jumping around here. You're going to trample my crops again. I just replanted those. So I've actually got a lot more work to do with placing all the dried grass in with the wheat. And also, there's a few things that I could do to spruce this up a little bit more. I'm thinking of removing the lights so the fireflies show more, but I'm not actually sure on how good it'll look without, like, at night without it. Because it kind of feels like golden fields. Like, it feels magical. Okay, bit of lag there. Because, like, it feels magical with it all lit up. And I mean, this will extend, like, going all that way. Eventually, I'm going to tear this down, I think. And I've not spawn-proofed the top of that building yet. The one with the enchanted bow is going to win. That's where my money's at. Yep, but the real winner will be me. First try. But yeah, I've been working on some armor stands in this area. I'll be honest. Yeah, I can't really explain this. Remember the episode where there were 3 of me and we were on a pirate ship and we traveled to the collective island and then we did like a really funky dance ravey musicy thingy? Well, I did that at 3 a.m. And me and Cal joke that that's 3 a.m. Smev. And that's I just get crazier the later in the night it gets. Anyway, I built this really late at night. so we're blaming 3 a.m. Smed for this. Moving swiftly on from there, this is Flash getting confused because he's lost. It's also quite funny that he's standing outside the tree, and so far, every time Flash's flown over this place has crashed into this one tree, and I don't understand why. Anyway, the other armor stand stuff I've worked on is this, little emo Smev. He's sad. He got rejected. You know, he's kind of holding the flower drooped. He's depressed because he was going to ask somebody out and it didn't work out. And he's sad. And he got a flower from here, which is Poppy's Pretty Poppies, which, of course, sells flowers and stuff. And I didn't know this was a thing, but apparently that's a new feature. So we love it. And also you can place this on practically anything, which is amazing. And I love that. And over here we've got Breeze Cream. And this is the Breeze making his cream. We got some ice cream here. This is an ice cream stand, not anything else. I don't know what you thought Breeze Cream was, but the Breeze is making his cream, and I'm gonna stop talking. Oh my goodness. Anyway, we got Mabel asking for some ice cream from the Breeze of the stall. I'm not gonna say the name again. Oh my goodness, I regret calling it that. We got Big Blaze guy sitting on the bench here. No idea why. He's just very large and he likes that bench. And then of course we've got Nandy's Normal Nans. And of course Nans is because Nan bread, and that's the only bread beginning with N that I could think of that would make sense in this context. So anyway, this is Nandy. This is a witch Nandy tending to their bread stall. And this is an unhappy customer complaining that the bread they ate made them small. And of course that relates back to this diorama here, where the bread that they fed the duck came from Nandy over there, and now the duck is huge and seeking revenge, because ducks do not, in fact, like bread. Well, they do like bread, but they do not eat bread. They're not supposed to eat bread. They're supposed to eat frozen peas. This is all I've got time to do in this episode, unfortunately. I mean, I'd hoped to get the entire street done, but it's been over a month since my last upload. And I don't really have any good excuses because there's other stuff that I need to do, and either I upload this now or I never upload it. So in the next episode, I'm going to have to focus on this giant area here that's sort of desolate and nothing going on. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and if you have watched all the way to the end, consider hitting the subscribe button. And maybe liking the video, sharing it around. I don't know. Maybe if people start sharing this video, there'll be more actually better functional animated Ferris wheels. And then the next time I build a Ferris wheel, there'll be more and more exciting ones. And also maybe somebody can understand why this feels like it doesn't give the right amount of points. I don't know how to do redstone. I'm trying. I'm learning, guys. It's a learning curve. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Goodbye.